What do you do when you've been paying off debt for a really long time and pinching pennies for longer than you can remember? Today, I'm going to give you some tips on dealing with budget burnout.
You have been paying off debt for a long time, or if you have a lot of high interest debt, or if you are a low income family, which is what we were when we were paying off debt, it can feel like it is taking forever. It feels like a very long car ride with very grumpy children, only I'm the grumpy children. And there comes a point, even when you're out of debt, if you're focusing on financial goals like getting a down payment for a house, or you're saving up for a really big expense, or you're putting extra towards retirement, or whatever it is, if there's a goal you're working towards, you just don't want to talk about it anymore. How do you handle those feelings? Have a picture of why you're budgeting on your wall. Take a picture of it and have it be the lock screen on your phone. For me, the lock screen on my phone is always a picture of one of my kids, and then the background is all of my kids. And so that's just a little reminder to me of why I do everything, why I work, why we budget, why we prioritize, retirement and college savings over other things. It's for our kids. It's to secure their future. But maybe it needs to be a picture of a house, or a picture of a cap and gown because you're paying off your student loans, or a picture of some mountains in Hawaii. Whatever it is, it gets to be what motivates you. So take a picture or type it up in the Notes app and take a screenshot and make that your lock screen, or print out a picture and stick it on your bathroom mirror where you can see it, but have a visual reminder of why you are working as hard as you are. So the next tip is budgeting equals survival. And if you have a lower income, budgeting equals survival. If you are low income, if you don't have a lot of money, then you absolutely need to be budgeting. And I don't mean for that to come across as preachy. Think about me as your aunt who loves you and wants you to succeed. If you are making just a little bit of money, just a few $100s a week, you budgeting is the difference between survival and catastrophe. You knowing where your money is going, assigning it a job to do before it leaves your bank account is going to be the difference between overdrafting and having a little bit of money left over. It's going to mean the difference between making your rent or having to decide what bill is going to get paid. So take this as someone who has lived it. Having a small income is not a reason not to budget. As this commenter said, it literally equals survival. Treat yourself once in a while. So having little things that you do to look forward to, I think are really important. My family and I used to do Friday night date nights at our coffee shop, and now we've transitioned it to some other things, but we have little things in our budget that we look forward to every week, and it makes budgeting more enjoyable. I talk a lot about this when it comes to eating out. I would much rather spend my eating out money on food that I'm going to enjoy and giving me something to look forward to, rather than just a bag full of chicken nuggets because I was tired. Now, there's certainly nothing wrong with chicken nuggets when you're tired, but I would rather spend, pay a premium on something that I'm going to enjoy and look forward to. Usually when I feel deprived, that's when I want to quit. And deprivation in your budget really can lead to impulse spending, because you can only deny yourself things for so long before you just break. And so giving yourself, the money to go get a coffee, or the money to go to a movie, or whatever, it's your money, you can spend it how you want. But planning that into your budget and giving yourself a little bit of fun money, or money that you could just spend on whatever you want, is key. List your financial accomplishments. I love a good list. I write down what I've already done. And so this helps me to go back in my planner and look at just little things that I accomplished that day. It's really helped me to not feel like a crappy mom, because I can see, I painted with my kids, or we made muffins, or we read these books, and I feel like I've accomplished something as their mother. But also it's helped cover my biscuits when things like a bill came that had already paid, or a conversation was had that needed to be noted, but also writing down some of the things that I have accomplished. I am very hard on myself. I'm very mean to myself sometimes. And lately I've been spiraling into this, you can't do this, you can't accomplish your goals, you're not smart enough to do this. Who do you think you are making these goals? Who do you think you are making these plans for yourself? And I have to go back and like go backwards in time and count up the accomplishments that I've done to lead me to this point. And so sometimes when you're in the thick of paying off debt or really working towards anything, saying, you know what, I was able to pay off this credit card debt, or I was able to complete this goal, or I was able to finish this project. It gives you a motivational boost, and it shows you that you've already come so far, even if you feel like you have so much more you have to do. Give yourself grace, but keep practicing until you're in a place where you spend under control naturally. We have touched on this before, that we're doing the best that we can, but the best that we can gets better with practice. Recently, my kids and I made these little fold-up things, Pokemon characters on them, and we had a hard time folding them, and one of my kids got really frustrated, and I said, stop. It's not going to be perfect the first time. It's going to look really bad, but we get better with practice. And personal finance is no different. We build little habits one day at a time, one good habit at a time. Good or bad, every day we're building financial habits. So we build good habits when we make a budget, stick to that budget, check the budget, do a money minute every day. If you don't know what a money minute is, it's when you pull out your budget, you pull out your bank account, and you see if there are any discrepancies, and you kind of mentally check in on your goals. But when we do these things, we build good money habits. And if you are disciplined in your spending, you don't necessarily have to keep track like when you weren't disciplined. And that grows over time. But that's just something to remember, that the more you practice staying on budget, the less you have to tend to it. Although it still needs to be tended to, just not as meticulously once you find your groove. Grace and forgiving myself. We all slip up. We all make mistakes. I say this all the time, but none of us are perfect little money angels. And so when we do slip up, we ask ourselves why. We forgive ourselves. We make a plan and we move on. Take a break. Maybe this month you hit your minimums and go full speed again next month. So if you have a lot of debt to pay off and you are really like at month after month feeling exhausted, and you know that you're in it for the long haul, it's okay to stop and take a break and go on vacation and take the extra debt payments that you were saving and go on vacation. It's okay. You can plan and spend responsibly and still pay off your debt. You don't have to live in the minimums for the rest of our lives, but we can take a month, take that extra money we were putting towards debt. If we're able to put extra money towards debt, put it towards something else and just relax for a minute. And of course, again, budget for fun every once in a while, and you get to determine what is fun for you. Something I'm really tired of seeing is people talking about things being a waste of money. What is a waste of money to you may not be a waste of money to someone else. There are lots of things that I view as wasteful, but it's not up to me to determine how someone else gets to spend their money that they go to work and earn. So nobody but you who earns your paycheck gets to decide if money is wasteful or not. Okay, so I hope these tips have been helpful to you. I would love for you to leave me a comment and let me know what's working for you and what's not. Do you have budget burnout? How do you deal with that? Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon.